So I was planning on not drinking until my birthday.
It sucks to be you.
Then I saw the scotch come out, and I'm like, yeah, that's not happening.
I'm drinking before my birthday.
Because I'm going to go buck wild, I think. Well, not so much buck wild, but I'm going to throw caution to the wind.
To the wind.
Because...
half of a devil may care attitude.
Exactly. Not a full fuck the world. Because I got shit to live for.
Yeah.
The world's been good to me.
It's more or less like... not a devil may care attitude. It's more along the lines of it's been decriminalized, not legalized. Like, everybody still hates it. They just give you a dirty stare. Yeah. But they're not going to go out of their way to fuck with you about it.
Oh, I got my whole birthday planned out. I went through with the girlfriend earlier. She laughed at me. Because I was like, going to the gym in the morning while you cook me breakfast. She's like, yeah, right. I'm going to be sleeping. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to the gym in the morning, and then when I'm done, I'm going to wake you up for some birthday sex. Whoa. You just think you can get breakfast and birthday sex?
Hey, it's a one or the other.
It should be fucking both. It's my birthday.
It's a one or the other, at least.
I thought that was inherent in being the birthday boy. You get to set the agenda.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, so I want breakfast after I get back from the gym, and I want birthday sex. But apparently that was out of bounds. But trust me, this will still happen. Moving on in the day, though. Then 11 o'clock, I'm going to Anejos for Taco Tuesday. Loading up. I'm getting 6 fucking tacos, 2 ground beef, 4 chicken, giant mug of Dos Equis Amber.
Hell yeah.
Then we're buzzing down to St. Paul. After that, going to the Science Museum, checking out the space exhibit. Oh, I'm going to go on the Zero-G or the, G-Force simulator with a gut full of fucking tacos and beer.
Puke all over the fucking thing.
And then go see, like, the Omni Theater movie and shit. And then probably go somewhere for dinner. Haven't decided yet. But then I also bought tickets to the Twins game the night of my birthday today, too. I got tickets for, like, right on the right field perch, that part that like sticks out at Target Field. I got seats there. $11 a seat.
Yep.
It's like these are old Metrodome prices.
I got 182 games to fill it. So
62. You're thinking you're crossing hockey in there. It's 162.
162.
And
okay,
82
and then,
for hockey.
You got to pull back on that because half the schedule's away.
Yeah. So I think So that's gonna be that's my tentative plan for my birthday. And the only reason I'm going to the Twins game is because The Office, my company, we won best places to work for like our industry thing. So they like doing a celebration. So they actually are taking everybody down to that Twins game on the 28th. And when they sent out the email, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be gone anyway because it's my birthday. I'm going to have fun. And I was like, might as well just go to the game anyway since it's there. And I could have just got tickets for $6 to get into the fucking stadium. And you can pretty much watch it anywhere in that stadium.
Yeah.
$6. Is that even a professional sport at that point?
Well, like I said, when you got that many goddamn plays, or, just home games, and I mean, they have as many home games as hockey has games.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you look at it that way, yeah, $11 every single time if they sell that ticket, that's a pretty good change at the end of the year.
That's true, but it's just like, if you had a good squad, you would be charging $90 for that ticket. Like if this was goddamn Fenway, and they were fielding the Bo Sox.
I have no idea what. I know where Fenway is, but I have no idea what the capacity is or their attendance.
It's probably half of what the Target or whatever Target Field has, because it's in the middle of Boston. It can't be too fucking big. They have to make a giant wall to go up because they can't make it go out.
That is true.
I don't know. So I think that'll be a fun birthday. Go see the Twinks. See them get their asses whooped.
Whooped. Whoop it up, Fokker.
Yeah, so it's pretty nuts after I was at your place on Thursday. Getting a little whiskeyed after bar night at the work.
Yeah.
Watching the Wild game. Fucking got home and I was just laying in bed talking to the girlfriend. I'm like, so we got anything going on this weekend? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay. I started dicking around my phone. And after like about a half hour, she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I go, oh, I just booked us a hotel for tomorrow night. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, we're going to go up to Nisswa. She's like, what the fuck's in Nisswa? I'm like, well, you're going to find out tomorrow.
Exactly.
She's
that
like,
is what our goal is.
Yeah, she's like, why? Why the fuck not? I think I just coined a goddamn phrase this weekend too. Daycation. I'm gonna go on a daycation.
I'm pretty sure somebody else has said
I've heard of staycation.
I don't even know what that is.
It's where you just like stay around where you live. It's like a staycation.
That is stupid.
It's like where you take a week off and explore your fucking county or whatever. Or for me, a true staycation would be I'd take a week off work and sit in my fucking apartment and just tell everybody I went out of town so I just left the fuck alone. That sounds like my great idea of a staycation.
No, I'd rather go up north.
Yeah, so we did that. We went up north to Nisswa. It was actually a pretty good time. Went to a steakhouse Friday night, scoped out some shit. The hotel we stayed in, $57 for the night.
Not bad.
Whew, we fucking roll up. There is one car, and it's the person that works there.
You should have, like, when you got up there, been like, yeah, I'd like a refund, and then let's talk about how much I'm paying tonight.
No shit, can I negotiate this? No, the best part is she go, you actually owe us 99 cents for just like the difference in tax. And I'm like, okay.
Fuck it, refund that shit.
Dude, and I was about to say, you could just, I go, can't you just put it on the card? She's like, well, then I'll have to rerun it again. And I'm like, okay, here's $1. And we get up in the room, I go to Andrew, I'm like, that's probably a motherfucking scam this stupid bitch does to every asshole that walks in this place. It's an extra $1 on tax, and she just gets tipped $1 every time somebody checks in, just to get off her.
Well, obviously she made $1 that night.
There's one fucking sucker. It was worth her ruse.
Yeah, I figure I'm patting out my income. I make an extra $20 a year.
Yeah, for all the idiot, for the one fucking person that checks in this weekend.
Yeah, exactly, on her one shift a week.
I don't know, but I just thought it'd be a good time to, get out of town, not to go too far away, and just not spend too much money, and then, of course,
we've done that.
It's an excuse for hotel sex.
Yeah.
I love hotel sex.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter, because you don't give a fuck. You can come everywhere. Yep. Man, I wet my dick on the curtains. How often do they change the curtains? Never. If you go to this wall, beware of the curtains. It's got jizz on them.
I bet. That's not all that is jizz on
I'm just an ass motherfucker like that. Stick the remote in my butt. That's how I get off.
Yep.
They don't change remotes either. I'm sorry. That was way off limits.
Oh, man. I'm taking Purell anywhere with you nowadays. I don't even like using that shit. I'm just going to douse you in it anytime we go someplace.
I fucking climbed a fire tower on Saturday, too.
Those are cool to go up.
Pequot Lakes, the bobber town, where they got the suite. Yeah, it was very anticlimactic, because when I saw the sign for Pequot Lakes when we were driving on 371, I'm like, oh, you're in for a treat. And then, unbeknownst to me, Pequot Lakes, and then about 8 minutes later is the actual town from where the sign is.
Yeah.
So by the time we reach it, she's like, what, that bobber water tower? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, that was kind of a letdown, like the world's largest ball of twine.
Yeah, exactly. You too can climb 128 stairs.
But yeah, so the fire tower was kind of sketchy. I don't like heights, and I got about, I don't know, 2 flights up, and it started to get a little wobbly, and I just looked down, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to keep going. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Just had 5 1-ies before I got up here.
Mine's running a little bit.
Yep, it's wobbling.
Pulse is going a touch shy.
I'm like,
it's going to either be one of 2 things. either we're going to fall to our death or I'm going to waste my weed.
And the best part is, like, I can get up there. I'm worried about getting down.
Oh, down's the fun part.
Yeah, that's the painful part, too.
Well, it doesn't really hurt that much if you're that high up.
Yeah, but I want to walk away from this.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to die in Pequot Lakes.
Who wants to die in Pequot Lakes? Let's just be real here. Nobody says this is where I want to die.
And the worst part is on each of the landings where you make the turn to go up the next flight, some asshole just writes this shit in fucking black permanent mark that's like, you're gonna die.
Yep, exactly.
Like, just fucking with you.
One more level and you'll fall.
Exactly. And then I get all the way to the top, and the fucking thing is like padlocked, so I can't actually get into the fucking platform above it.
Yeah.
Then I was pissed.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Like, really, I just busted ass and climbed all these fucking stairs for nothing. And then, of course, the landing is super small, and I'm just, like, fucking trembling, like, God damn, like, making sure I'm holding on to something at all times.
3 points of contact.
Well, the worst part is some asshole writes in graffiti, like, weight limit 150 pounds at the beginning. Like, fuck me!
Knowing that all of us Americans are fatty shits. Like, everybody's gonna walk up there and just go, back down slowly. Did you bring that helium? Jesus. Weight limit 150. That's awesome. That is a good one. I like that.
So the fear just got to me. Because I didn't even, like, take, like, a photo or anything from being up there.
I don't take photos though.
I mean, that's the last thing I think about, especially when I'm like holding on for dear life and it's like windy and I'm just like, fuck, I want to be on this platform and then have fun.
I always have more or less the opposition of saying, if it's not that cool to remember, I shouldn't have taken a picture of it in the first place. But if I do remember it, why the fuck do I need a picture?
That is, I will fucking remember that. It looked exactly like it did from below, just higher.
So what you're telling me is you got all the way up there and you went exactly like I thought it was going to be. Immediately regret my decision.
Yeah, frankly, yeah. Because then I'm like, now I have to go down. And that
awesome.
took twice as long. And the best part is my feet are so big and long, not to brag, but ladies, that you can't just walk down face first. You pretty much have to go back the way you came, like crawling backwards down this thing. So that really, I felt ashamed as a man. Surprised I didn't get on my butt and hop down each step like a fucking 2-year-old.
Well, I will say there is this place out in South Dakota where we went, and it starts in the Badlands area where they have a ledge walk that you can take.
What?
And you actually climb up and then you walk around and you come out to this one spot where it's literally like a 250-foot just straight drop. And you overlook this entire area that's just nothing but campgrounds as far as you can see, basically. But it's got some really cool scenery, especially if you look the one way with all the other mountains. And, well, not in mountains, but rock formations. And I'll even admit it, going up there, because you gotta think of it this way. When we went up there, it was the second day we were there, and through the first half of the second day, we just stayed at the campground, because we'd just been, traveling for a while, so we were like, okay, well, that day we'll just stay at the campground, we'll do some swimming and all that kind of stuff. So, for the majority of the day, I'd just been sitting there and blazing. And then all of a sudden they tell me, oh yeah, we're going to go on a rock ledge. I'm thinking, oh, that doesn't sound so bad,
Yeah. You're like, it's an outlook.
Yeah,
you're just going to go up to a ledge and look.
But then I find out that there's this hiking trail that you have to take to get there. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not bad either. And then we finally get to this giant wore-away ladder that they have that goes up this rock face.
Wore away
And when
ladder?
I say it's worn away, I mean there's parts that are touching the ground, so you can do it one of two ways. Either you can use the wood to climb up, or you can put your feet in between the wood and use it as like a backstop for your foot, because the ground is right underneath it.
Okay.
But there's certain parts where if you did that, you'd be crotch deep on this piece of wood. So you have to climb on the wood, and then it's got some give to it because of not having ground underneath it.
No.
And I had no problem with it at that point. Because
Did you take one at a time, or did you all hop on that son of a bitch?
Oh, we were all on it.
Just wobbling it around.
And I didn't have any problem with that, and I was thinking, oh, this is kind of cool. But there's a certain point where you can go either there's a difficult way or there's a beginner way of doing things.
I'd go beginner.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Everybody's like, let's go difficult.
No, not everybody.
Just the people that mattered, or what?
No, I'm just... It's hard not to do something when you've got like little nephews that are going, oh, he's scared. Like, oh, son of a bitch. I'm not scared. I just don't want to do it. Oh, yeah, that's what scaredies say.
You
Fuck
got
you.
peer pressured into...
from my fucking nephews. And there was a couple of times when I was going across it, and it just flashed through my mind of, and they found him as a puddle. You know, like, because you're climbing on this ledge that's 2.5 feet wide, and you look down, and there's a 35-foot drop right to a bunch of jagged rock. And you're just like, yeah, I'm a big water balloon compared to that. I mean, they're not going to be picking me up in a bag. They're going to be mopping me up off these rocks. In fact, why is that one colored? You know, like
shit. Is that rust or blood?
Yeah, there was a couple of times when it was just like, why do I do these things? I should just slap the kid.
You got nothing to prove to you, son of a bitch.
Here's how your parents... No, I mean... what?
Because when we were in Montana and we did the Lewis and Clark Caverns, there was a spot where you come from like the entry and then you go down the original where they used to like rappel down in the original tours, and they had a stairway that got to me. I was just like getting kind of dizzy looking down at it. It's just like, because I'm a big motherfucking dude, and they did not, and they got tiny miners, I swear to Christ.
Oh, yeah. When we were spelunking in South Dakota, there was a couple of times where, because we chose not to have the tour guide, we would just wanted to go all as a big group, you know, and so we didn't have a tour guide. We just all went down there, and there's one point where we weren't quite sure which way, if we were supposed to go left, if we were supposed to go right. And the way we were doing it is, you know, most of the time you just come to a dead end anyway. Either that or there's a hole in the floor, and you go, yeah, we're not going down that.
Yeah.
So you just go back the way you came. Like the ones with the holes in the floor, you can pay to have a real spelunking where you actually go rappelling into these holes and then keep going down. Like the cave that we were in, there's 3 different sessions you could buy. One of them, absolutely insane. I can't believe anybody would want to do it. Although, after thinking about it for a little while, it would be one of those, I did it things, but needless to say.
I'd have to go to the gym for like 7 months to train for that.
Well, the first is just having a tour, and you could have a guide or you didn't have to have a guide. And if you didn't have the guide, they just gave you the flashlights and said, go at it. If you wanted the guide, they actually did stopped and did little stories about stuff, and told you how rock formations. But then again, they had plaques on the.
Like you could read all the shit that there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that we didn't take the guide. But there's a second tour that you could take, and that one was, I think they said, a 4-hour or 6-hour, something like that.
Sounds like Gilligan's Island.
Well, it was basically the one that you actually rappelled in some of these holes and stuff like that. Some of them.
How much does that run you?
I think that one was like $150 a person.
See, that shit ain't cheap. That shit ain't cheap.
Well, it was $20 a person, and then I think $12 a kid to go in there and just do the tour.
Around.
Yeah. But the spelunking one was like $150, and then they had the ultimate package where you went in and you actually spent the night inside the cave.
What?
So you spelunk down to this place where there's this big rock ledge where it's just a flat ground. Then you camp there for the night, and then you climb out the next day. So that's
insane.
And I guess at one point they even tell you that not to bring a heavy sleeping bag because you go far enough down where you start getting warm.
It's like probably a constant temperature. temperature.
Yeah, because I can't remember exactly. I know that there was points when they have plaques like saying you have now reached this bar underneath the ground.
Yeah.
And at one point, I think we were like 360 feet under or something, but that was just the tip. Because if you looked in the office, the actual map of what it was, they had a 3D map that was actually in a little glass case that you could walk around that showed, the ground level, and then it had all these little molds of caves and I mean, it went down to like 700 some feet. So it was really fucking deep. So you went all the way down to the bottom, I guess, and then you camped there, and then you came back the next day. And it said ask for packages because it was, group only type deal. And
that was, if you have to ask, you can't afford type thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'd be $500-600 a person.
Easy.
And yeah.
Plus rations.
Well, and flares to fight off the mole people. Bring a stick.
What I thought was neat about the Lewis and Clark caverns was because they were in a fucking mountain. So I thought it was an absolute trip where I was a mile high above sea level, but in a fucking cave.
Yeah.
I feel like a goddamn grizzly bear.
Yeah. Rawr. I don't know what the actual movie was, but I guess they've made a sequel of it. Something about where these 4 girls go spelunking and they find like these weird creatures in the cave that start eating them and shit like that.
Oh, really?
And the funniest part about when we were talking about doing this, we talked about it the day before, being like, oh, tomorrow we're going to go in the caves and all that kind of stuff. And the oldest nephew was going, what do you mean we're going to go into caves? And we were like, oh, there's this whole cave tour where you go like a couple 100 feet underground and But yeah, it just did that. We were like, no, I saw this movie where these 4 girls do that kind of stuff and they all get eaten by this weird shit. And we were like, what are you talking about? And Luke goes, I will let him watch this horror movie on Sci-Fi or whatever. And
so cheesiest fucking thing on earth, dude.
I guess, I don't know, but I guess they're like half-evolved humans that are...
This is like that movie Chud.
I don't know.
Cannibalistic human under, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, but the whole premise was it was 4 girls that went spelunking and only one
girls?
comes out. And then I guess they have a follow-up movie where she comes and tells everybody that they're down there, but has amnesia.
So she's like, let's go back down and save them. I don't know what I just ran
Exactly. Luke was telling me all about it, and I was just like, oh, so he saw this movie, and now he's scared shitless to go into this cave. And we were trying to say it to him, being like, well... there's going to be other people that are coming out as we're going in, so that should tell you that, not everybody gets eaten. It's only like 1 in 100. And then...
Just fucking with them. Eyes as big as
Exactly. He was just... that's why people don't let me talk to their kids. But, yeah, it was great when I said that to him. He was just like, well, what if I'm the 100? And I went, well, we should have played the lottery, I guess, because...
Luckily, you got 2 other brothers.
Yep, that's why we procreate, I guess.
That's so brutal.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was like Descent or something like that was the name of the movie, and yeah, I didn't watch it. I've seen parts of it because I have like passed it on there, but yeah, I guess he watched that and he was scared shitless to go into the cave at first.
That's awesome, dude. I saw Interstellar. With Matthew McConaughey. L-I-E-V-A-N. That's what he sounds like to me. But
was it stellar?
It was actually really good. I liked it a lot. It went where most sci-fi movies didn't, because it's always like the build-up to find, the build-up to see, the build-up, you're exploring, and then in the last 2 seconds of the movie, they show you a clip of something, and then it just goes, which is basically like, we're going to show you a light show, and then roll credits. That's what you saw. This one, it was more, you actually like went somewhere, and, he experienced this craziness, and it was just really good without spoiling anything. It was It was actually, I really liked it, but I'm a fucking sucker for sci-fi. I love all sci-fi movies, so I really, really liked it.
It has to be good sci-fi for me. I hate when people try to make sci-fi but do it so horribly.
I would like to see your take on that flick, Interstellar. I think you're a pretty tough critic, but I think you'd like it.
No, I'll have to give it a gander.
It was pretty good. And then another good sci-fi one that I saw this weekend too was that one with fucking Tom Cruise.
The
Day After Tomorrow.
Day After Tomorrow, I think is what it was.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Interesting premise.
It was like a video game. It was like if you were playing a fucking video game. You like hit the reset button. Oh, fucking died on that. I got limited lives.
The weird part about that whole thing was, how is it that it's like an organic computer that's... I think that was the whole point of the movie are our computers going to... Because there's the whole debate right now, is artificial intelligence going to replace us? And I think that's kind of what that movie was all about, and that's where it lost it for me. Is if it's supposed to be like an artificial intelligence like that, because I didn't quite understand if they were supposed to be an alien race or if it was evolved.
I would say I was under the impression it was an alien race.
Because the only thing that I thought it was like one mainframe computer that was in orbit that was controlling all these. Or maybe I'm confusing that with another Tom. Oh, yeah, I am. I'm confusing that with the other one where he's like a patrol guy on...
Oh, yeah.
So I'm confusing two different Tom Cruise
Oblivion.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
His shit all seems to just jumble together to me because he plays the same character and I really don't like it, so...
Yeah, because the way, the Day After Tomorrow kind of seemed was the alien force that came, and then it was just basically one kind of main hub of consciousness that was hiding, and then it just sent out these little feelers to do all of its little fucking damage and shit like that. So then they basically, we just got to kill this one thing. But the whole concept that I liked about it was it almost perfectly captured what it would be like if a video game was real life. And because you evolve, you learn, just like he did, and because that's the first thing I thought when I was watching.
Why do you think the army and shit like that are training people with video games now?
Well, that's why Call of Duty and all those games are pushed on kids so much. And then the part that creeps me out is that there are government entities that are monitoring the live online gaming, and they're especially recruiting kids.
Yeah, they have tournaments and shit like that. A lot of programs do this stuff of the aerial simulators and shit like that. That's crazy that you can get recruited to be a drone pilot and stuff like that for playing the simulators.
It reminds me of that fucking Matthew Broderick flick from the 80s, War Games.
War Games.
And that's the weird...
Or the updated version, Ender's Game.
That is true. Because I could honestly see, is this too nefarious of an idea to think that the government could really just patch in a fucking drone into your PlayStation Live connection and just circuit it so the game you're playing, you think you're just playing this game, but it actually is kind of a replica of a real life battlefield, and they just pick out these kids who are bomb-ass pilots, and they're sitting there thinking they're playing a game, but it's actually controlling a real drone killing real people across the world.
I would say that you could do that. The problem with it is, without knowing that there's any kind of consequences, what's to say that the kid just doesn't get bored for a second there and crash it into the fucking ground, right? Or crash into something, or do something stupid just thinking, whatever.
Well, that's why you do extensive research on the subject before you allow it to switch over. You have monitored him for several years in his habits.
I don't know. I think if
psychology.
It's good in theory, but if you ever got caught doing that, you would be... Yeah, you'd probably get the death penalty.
Like Oliver North and the Iran-Contra scandal, you just get a show on Fox News 20 years later. That's how America works. in a real world, in a real society, with accountability, you're right. But in the world we live in, you get a talk show.
Yeah, but in this instance, it would be a scapegoat.
And it would be, you're using the children.
Yep.
It's all about the children.
Well, speaking of a different subject here that I thought...
Speaking of a different subject.
That's my
Ham-fisted segue there.
Well, I'm just saying.
Moving on.
Yeah, we pretty much killed that one now.
You're like, I want to talk about something else.
Yeah, I really want to talk about this because this is a prediction that I made to you a while ago.
What is it?
Talking about how I think there's going to be a showdown in this country real soon between all police and civilians. If shit doesn't happen fast. And this one is absolutely hilarious to me. Because this wasn't even a police officer who did it. Another black guy was shot while in handcuffs and laying on the ground.
And an officer didn't do it?
No. A reserve sheriff deputy.
Was he off duty?
No, he was a reserve sheriff's deputy.
Okay.
So not even a real cop. The dude that walks around like the fairgrounds and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, like, yeah.
He's a 73-year-old guy. Robert Charles Bates is his name. 73-year-old guy. And he shot a 44-year-old guy named Eric Harris. And
Isn't that the Columbine killer?
No.
Oh.
Not the same one,
Okay.
anyway. Different one.
He wasn't black.
Yeah,
he
different.
just wore a black trench coat, sorry.
But what ended up happening was this guy had a cop on top of him, and he was still being hostile, they say. Being belly down on the ground, being handcuffed with his hands behind his back. Had an officer on top of him, and this 73-year-old douchebag decides that he's going to tase this guy anyway. So he pulls out what he thinks is a taser, which ends up being a .38 caliber handgun, and shoots him.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is what the sheriff's deputy, the spokesperson said. He made an error. How many errors are made in the operating room every week? Okay, big difference.
Whoa.
Big difference.
Whoa.
You usually don't use tasers or guns in operating rooms, and any kind of an error in the operating room is still better than what would have happened if they didn't operate for the most part.
Exactly.
So you can't use that as any kind of a bullshit on this.
Yeah, because what would have happened if this guy would have got away?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. It's not like he was a fucking mass murderer.
Yeah.
You could go to the White House if you wanted to capture one of those.
Well, and this is the stupid part about it is they had people that were standing there watching this happen, and when Bates arrived on the scene, he ran up on the situation and a gunshot went out, and then people heard this, "Oh, I'm sorry, I shot him."
I'm sorry. Oops, sorry. My bad.
And the guy was actually heard saying, "He shot me. Oh my God, he shot me. I'm having trouble breathing." And the deputy responded as, "Fuck your breathing."
Hashtag I can't breathe is coming back in full force, son.
But this is the best part about it. You know how this guy became a sheriff's deputy and was legal to carry a firearm and a taser and all this shit?
Cronyism. Tell me it's cronyism. It's America.
He donated vehicles, weapons, stun guns, and body armor to the police department. So they made him an honorary reserve deputy.
So cronyism, I hope.
There's a lot of wealthy people in the reserve program, said the spokesperson. Many of them make donations of items. That's not unusual at all.
Yeah, but not all of them shoot people on, like, fucking fake patrol.
Yeah.
This dude needs to learn how to play shuffleboard or golf or something. What the fuck's he doing out there patrolling the streets?
He goes on to say, Reserve Deputy Bates did not commit a crime. There's no other determination I could come to.
What did he do? What did he do then? If he didn't commit a crime, what did he do?
It was an accident, man. He was going for his stun gun and didn't realize his stun gun was completely different than the .38 caliber pistol that he was carrying. So not only did he apparently not know where shit was on his belt, that, you know, you'd think so if that was supposed to be your job, but he also didn't know the difference between a stun gun handle and a pistol handle, still pulled it out without checking what the fuck it was, And I'm not sure on how many stun guns, because I haven't shot too many of them, but in fact I've never shot a stun gun.
No, but I want to.
I don't know if the safety would be in the same type of area as like a pistol would be, but I'm just saying, the aspect of pulling a bright yellow and white stun gun and aiming at it, or a .38 pistol, which is usually a revolver, which looks nothing like a stun gun.
Yeah. Or feels to the weight of it. You wouldn't imagine
I'm just saying, if he couldn't figure out where it was on his belt firsthand, you shouldn't be able to carry either. If you can't figure it out from the feel of it, you shouldn't be able to carry either. And if you can't figure it out when you pull it up to aim it, what it is, what the fuck?
Yeah, did they say anything about he's got dementia? That's why we can't charge him. He's old. He's got a disease of some fucking kind.
I don't know. They don't say anything about it yet, but the fucked up part about it is they're trying to charge him with third-degree manslaughter. And in my mind, that should be third-degree murder, maybe.
Yeah.
Second-degree murder at most. You can't be first because it wasn't premeditated, as far as I understand. But
hey, he's a closet racist.
I'm just putting it to you this way. You took a pistol and shot a dude who is handcuffed on the ground with an officer on top of him. I don't know what further proof that I need to say that this is bullshit, fucked up, militant society that is just completely allowing police to fuck them in the ass and nobody's doing anything about it.
And truly, you know what I think the bigger plot of the whole police hatred coming down is what the powers that be, the elites that run the central banks and the IRS and all the fucking Congress people, their idea to basically circumvent the justice that needs to be brought upon them is to get people to hate the police, which is basically their front face for the government. But they're not the government. And the sad thing is they want this to happen. They want there to be open rebellion and a war of the people versus the police, so then they can do exactly what you said. Federalize and militarize the police and crack down, take away all of your freedoms, take away your Second Amendment right, your First Amendment, fucking put you in a goddamn internment camps like they did the Japs.
I actually take it a completely different way. I look at it in the aspect of, yes, everybody knows that there was still racist shit that was happening, especially happening back in 40s, 50s, 60s, and things like that.
And today. It's like a radio station.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say, but the same things were happening today, yes, but a lot more prevalent in today's society, not only for blacks. Blacks used to be the ones that were completely persecuted by police. Now it happens to be what they consider minority, which is kind of funny because they're not going to be minorities very fast. But I'm talking anything other than Caucasian stems that chance of getting beaten, shot.
Yeah.
I don't even begin to fathom what somebody of color in this country must feel when they look at a police, because I know for a fact that even when I'm not doing anything wrong, I see a police there and I just instantly go, oh shit.
Yeah. I could be going 29 and a 30.
I could be sitting on a park bench and see a cop and just be like, what the fuck am I... Oh, that's right, I got nothing on me. But what does he have on him?
Yeah, exactly. What could he put on me?
Yeah. It comes down to it that I don't trust them at all, and I'm like the perfect demographic for them to like me. So
yeah, exactly.
It just makes no sense that I would feel that way. So I don't even understand what a person of color in this country must feel when they see a cop, because I'm scared shitless when I see one. And I can't imagine that it's better for them.
Well, statistically, it's not.
Yeah.
Just if you look, even the Ferguson report.
Yep.
But now every fucking town is doing those reports, and it's pretty much coming out unanimously that white male is the box to check if you could have an option.
And I'm still... I see a cop
scared.
and I just look at it and go, what am I going to get busted for now?
Oh, all the time.
What are they going to get me for? Because there's absolutely... anything you do nowadays is illegal. So it's just one of those things where, fuck it, everybody hates cops. It just comes down to it. They've gotten that reputation. And they didn't have that reputation a while ago. Like, I mean, they had the reputation of being people of the community that were respected for the most part. And now, think about how many people you know that know a cop. Usually, they travel in their own groups.
Yeah.
If you're a cop, you have cop friends.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're a cop's wife, you have cop wife friends.
That is true. Because I know a lot of girls that, you know, like, oh, this dude is chatting me up at the gym or whatever. And then he fucking told me he was a cop, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's the proper fucking response from anybody I'm associating with.
I was telling Leah about it a little while ago, of just saying, anytime that they do that bullshit, oh, well, you hate me now, but when you have to call me, then you need me.
Absolutely.
You know, the last time I had to call them was when that dumb bitch rear-ended me when she said that, oh, I didn't see him because I was taking a drink of my coffee.
Yeah.
And I remember when I called the police station, and I mean, this was when it was 20 below outside, and I was driving that Honda that the heater was out. So I was bundled up and everything, but I mean, I was expecting a 10-minute drive and wasn't expecting to be stranded there for a while.
Yeah.
Wasn't stranded, but when I called the police and said they have to come out here to, you know, get all the pictures and shit like that, they said, well, is this an emergency? And I said, well, it's not necessarily an emergency, but could you tell the police to actually hurry a little bit because I don't have a heater in my vehicle. 45 minutes later, a police shows up.
Hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Okay,
and I don't even know if that was the dude that was called. I think he just kind of like came up and he's like, why are two people pulled over the side of the road like this?
So he's just on patrol, like, bouncing around, like...
So I looked at it and I was just like, yeah, because I love you when I have to call you.
Oh, shit.
Love you. Even though I'm the one they called, I still get that whole thing of, well, what do you got in your car? Dude, it has nothing to do with what I have in my car. You're fucking looking at the bumper because that's where I got rear-ended. Yeah. Why are you asking me to search my vehicle?
Exactly. Just like when my car got broke into and the cop's like, well, are you sure? Maybe we should go through your car and make sure nothing is missing. No. Fuck you. Yeah. We're not doing anything.
Exactly.
But you know what's sad in this country? That you can get a goddamn pizza delivered faster than the cops will come to a call.
Exactly.
That is fucking... Does that show how much consumerism is?
I'm just looking at it whenever they say, well, you say that now, but when you need us to call us. You know what? Unless it comes down to a monetary thing like that where I have to have that for evidence.
Proof. Yeah. Proof.
Then I'm going to call you.
Exactly.
Other than that, I would rather handle shit myself because then I don't feel like a suspect.
Yeah, if I could have my buddy Tom down the street do the same thing and just get his fucking statement notarized and it would hold the same weight as a fucking police report, guess which road I'm taking.
And the majority of police that I've known, I don't trust to begin with.
Oh shit, I'd trust Bob down the fucking street.
I've trusted more people the fact of, hi, my name is... Oh yeah, you're more trustworthy than that cop that I just met.
Yeah, my name is Officer... Whoa! Hey.
Exactly.
Whoa.
My name is Officer... Oh, so you're above the law, huh? That's the best part about it. The majority of people that I have actually known that have had anybody in their family that's law enforcement or, you know, new law enforcement personally, I've only known one, but I never really talked to him that much.
Yeah.
But anybody that's known him, it's just the hypocritical bullshit of they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Just think how close you were to being in law enforcement.
Yeah, I was.
You were like,
military law enforcement, but
that's just that's a gateway drug to fucking law enforcement. And then when you get too old for law enforcement, mall cop.
Mall cop.
That's just that's the progression
on a segue.
You go MP, cop, mall cop, and then at the very end of your life, private investigator.
Yep.
Where you just sit in the car.
Private dick.
Yeah. Dick.
Yep, I'm not going to be an investigator. I'll have that on my business cards. Best dick you ever owned or ever hired. That would be the best one. Best dick you ever hired. Oh, I just got a business model.
Yep.
I'm going to the bank tomorrow.
Your neighborhood cum shoe.
Woo!
Woo! We're hot tonight. The scotch is feeling all right.
Oh,
all right, so I got the goddamn Stanley Cup 2015 playoff bracket I want you to fill out. I'm going to ask you your thoughts on who's going to be the W's. The big winner. And then, of course, just like every year, we're going to keep track. I filled out 2 brackets, so I'm going to expect you to... I only have one for you, because I just ran out of paper. But I'm going to have you, like me, I picked who I truly thought was going to win, like if I had to put money down, and then I did another bracket of what my heart is. So, you ready for this? Have you thought about this at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to start out in the East.
So are we just saying who wins or
Yeah.
games 2?
Like how many... I think what we'll do is we'll just say who wins, and then I'll assign points, like 1 point for first round, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points.
Okay.
And then we'll just count up points at the end. I think that'll be the easiest.
Okay.
Because last time we tried it was basically like, oh, both our brackets went to shit. Who really is the winner? I don't know.
Wild and 4.
Across the board? All right. So this is going to be... So which one do you want to do first? Your heart or your head?
I'll do my head.
Do your head. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to start in the East. We got a tough matchup with the wild card Ottawa Senators versus the number 1 seed Canadians. Not overall number 1 in the East.
Yeah, I know, but that's an easy one for me. I'm believing the Canadians are taking that.
You're doing the
Oh,
Habs?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so we got Habs here. And then the next matchup is Detroit versus Tampa Bay.
I'm taking Detroit on that one.
Ooh, you're going with the Wiley Vets, huh?
Hey, I'm just saying, you can never count those guys out.
But-
ever.
Bishop is a grizzled goalie.
He is, but I'm saying they've got some shooters.
Stamkos. He's
I'm just saying.
Geno machine.
Don't try to change my shit.
I'm not. I'm just debating.
No, I'm saying Detroit.
All right, now we got the Rangers versus the Gwinnies. New York Rangers versus Pittsburgh Penguins. Rangers are number 1 in the league right now.
I know. I'd love to say
End of the season.
Pittsburgh, but all money would be on the Rangers.
So you going Rangers?
Yeah. If I'm going with my head, you got to say the Rangers. I mean, shit, they're the best in the fucking league.
That is true. And this is my personal favorite matchup in the East. I'm excited to watch this series. Capitals versus Islanders. Last season, the Islanders are actually playing on the island. Is this their swan song?
I actually want the Islanders to win because I think that would be a bomb second round.
Fucking right, dude.
But I got to go against
You're
them.
going Caps?
I got to go against them.
All right, so you're going Caps. And now we're going to everybody's favorite, the Western Conference.
Damn straight. The bestest.
The best conference, for sure. All right, we got the Ducks versus the Jets.
Ducks. The Ducks are taking that.
You know, you're not picking the upset?
No way.
Not
The
picking
Ducks
the
have
upset.
got the Jets number. Come on. They've got nobody.
How about the Canucks versus the Flames? La Flame. The hottest third period team in the league, the Flames.
They are.
Got Gianni
But the
Hockey.
first 2 periods, they haven't been the greatest. So I'm actually saying Knox.
What?
I am.
You're going with the... You're gonna...
I know.
The Canucks.
I know.
The dastardly dude evilers.
I'm saying it. I'm just saying. That's what I feel.
All right.
I think the Knucks are going to take it.
And then
Because I want to meet them bitches.
the most important series of all. Wild.
Yeah, you don't need to
Blues.
ask that.
Wild.
Oh, yeah. That's my heart and my head, bitches.
That's where I am at. And then this is going to be a good one, too.
We were 2-2 with St. Louis this year. We got their fucking number.
Oh, absolutely. If Doobie plays half as good as he's played, we can win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just need to keep Kemper out. That's all we got to do.
Exactly.
He was good, but Jesus, you can't just come right back to the playoffs like this.
You know what sucks is he was on a great heater, and then, like, I have his
Pulled my groin.
I have his autographed puck.
Pulled my groin.
I might just have to take it down. Or just tell people don't know any better. Yeah, that's
Turn it around.
Devin
Yeah, it's
Dubnyk.
Minnesota Wild.
That's Devin Dubnyk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you can't read
You
it.
can't read anything.
Exactly. All right, and then the other fun series that I think, other than the Wild, of course, that's not going to be a fun series to me. That's going to be nail-biting, nerve-wracking series. But I'm going to have fun watching Nashville Predators versus the Chicago Blackhawks.
I am probably going to say that this is going to be my upset. I actually think that Nashville is going to take the Hawks.
Well, statistically, it's not.
Statistically, it would be, but everybody's saying that the Hawks are going to take them.
You're going Preds?
I think Nashville's going to take them.
All right, all right. So now we're going to go back to the East
All right.
for Habs versus Wings. Who do you think is going to win? Montreal versus Detroit. A couple original 6 teams.
Yeah.
Head-to-head.
See, this is a hard one because they're both like the same style of play. They're both the body, rub people out on the boards. You know, keep it tight, keep it fucking aggressive.
I love is Carey Price, right?
Yeah.
I get it because I just watched the Road to the Winter Classic last night. They
Yeah.
put 4 episodes, and I was like, whatever. But I was thinking of Crawford. But Price is a grizzle. PK Subban,
Yep.
huge shot from the blue line. But Detroit, you just can't count Detroit out.
That's what I keep coming back
They're
to. is
wily vets, man.
Every time you feel like you want to put money against them, they prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Or at least they put up a show where you're just like, wow, well, you can't really count them out because they were down 4-0 and they came back 3, you know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I'd love to say that they would actually pull this out, but I think I'm going to have to go against them. I don't think Detroit's going past that.
So you're going Habs.
Yep.
All right. And then we're moving down to the New York Rangers versus the Washington Capitals.
That one I'm going to have to go with the Rangers. I mean, come on.
Ovi versus Nash?
All money's got to be on the Rangers for that one.
Because they're they're the best team in the league.
Well, if you look at the lineups, man, the Rangers have some size this year. I mean, they're the one team where I really hope that I'm wrong, because I really hope that the Wild make it to the finals.
Yeah.
And if we go against the Rangers, I don't think we'll have a chance. They're the kind of guys that have the size and have the strength where they can push on people game after game after game after game, and they don't have the little breakdowns.
Yeah.
We've already proven the last couple of years that we're the type of team that if we start doing that with other teams, we usually have a couple of injuries every couple of games.
Yeah.
You know, so it comes down to it where New York Rangers, I gotta give it to them just because they're as you would put it, they're that grizzled team that just, they seem to...
Dude, St. Louis...
Yeah.
Fucking
They just seem to have
Nash.
that energy where they can continuously bang boards
Yeah.
and just beat the shit out of people.
And
that's why they proved it during the season and
Yeah.
having the best point record.
And in all honesty, if Lundqvist gets on a heater,
Yeah, he's
lights out. Lights out.
He's already done it in years past where
Yeah.
you cannot. It has to be a garbage fucking
Yep,
goal.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it just comes down where I hate to say it, but I have a feeling that those guys have a really good chance of taking it all.
Now we're moving back over to the West. Ducks versus Canucks.
I think I got to take the Ducks on that one.
Oh, I fucking hate the Ducks.
I do too, but they're the lesser of two evils on that one.
But this is your head. This is your head.
Yeah.
I'm going to know... Oh, I got it. All right.
H.
Well, I was going to write head, but I'm going to write both of them on the same goddamn thing, so it was pointless to actually finish it. But we're going Wild Preds. We just beat the Preds with our B squad.
I know we did, and that's why I'm actually going to say Wild.
All right. Well, that was kind of obvious, but all right. Now back to the East. Habs versus the Rangers. This is gonna be a good game. Another original 6. If that goes. This
I do
way,
have
it'll
to
be
say,
good.
I actually do think the Rangers are going to it.
You do? So
Yeah.
you're gonna go Rangers.
I really do.
All right. So we're going New York Rangers, and then Ducks Wild. That Wild have not fared at all.
At all.
I wouldn't even say they haven't even fared well. They haven't fared at all.
It's not even playoff.
Every time.
Any game that we have with the Ducks, we probably have a 20% chance of winning it.
Yes.
I mean, that's just sheer statistics. I'm not sure if that's the actual number. I'm just saying that's got to be close.
That's truthiness statistics.
Yeah,
What you feel in your
I'm
gut.
just saying that's got to be close for playoffs because we've met them many a times in the playoffs. And
Playoffs?
I mean, anytime we've ever played them, we probably have close to a 20% win record against them.
Yeah.
Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. I'm going to say give and take 15.
Plus minus 15
Yep.
points.
But yeah, if it comes down to it, if we're going with my head on this one, I got to say the Ducks are going.
Ooh, so you're going Ducks Rangers.
I really do think that.
All right.
Yeah.
And so, out of the Ducks Rangers, what do you think the W is going to be?
Rangers.
So we're gonna go Rangers.
I want to say this just one more to reiterate. I think that the whole reason is they have that size. They just got the team that is the leathernecks of the league.
Yeah.
They're not the best at any particular position, but you put them all together, and all it is a bunch of leathernecks that all they do is wear you the fuck down.
Because even their top scorers, like I was mentioning before, your Rick Nashes, your Martin St. Louis, they're muckers
they're
and
nothing compared
grinders.
to the rest of the guys in the league.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about a guy like Ovechkin, he's always going to have 15 more than their guys. But the problem is, you never know who's going to come at you at the Rangers. You know Ovechkin's going to take the shot, and he still takes the shot.
And he
still scores the fucking goal. You know what I mean? But with the Rangers, you've got, like I said, they're just... remember that old Nintendo game Ice Hockey where you could choose the fat, the skinny, or the medium guys?
I always went fat.
They have all medium guys on this team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they're not going to fuck with everybody, but for the majority of the rest of the players...
don't forget about St. Louis. He's there's the one tiny guy that slipped in.
Yeah.
Because he's a wee tyke.
Well, they got rid of Gabrick, so they had to get another tiny.
He's an absolute grizzle.
He's like Spurgeon, though. You can't really say that he's tiny because he plays bigger than he is.
Because he plays smart.
Yeah.
Because
he's not the dude that doesn't look behind him.
Exactly. So let's compare yours to mine. So this is what I went with for my head. Like if I was going to put money on it.
All right.
In the East, I went Ottawa, Tampa Bay, just like you, New York Rangers, and Capitals. And then...
Really? We have the same East?
Yeah.
For the first?
Yep.
Well, that's going to be hard to win.
Yep. But then for the East, in the next round, I picked Tampa Bay.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Over Ottawa. And then I picked the Rangers over the Caps. And then in the West, I picked the Ducks over the Jets, the Flames over the Canucks, the Blues over the Wild.
You son of a bitch.
That's my head pick.
I think we're going to take him.
And then the Hawks over the Predators.
Okay.
And then I had the Flames beating the Ducks. And then I had the Blues beating the Hawks. And then the Blues versus Rangers in the Cup final. And I had the Blues being the champions.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
TJ Oshie.
You give them a lot of credit.
TJ Oshie, motherfucker. War Road. Oh, here, tiebreaker. Rangers and what? We're gonna call the games here for a tiebreaker.
What?
We're gonna call the championship game tiebreaker because no matter who's in the championship, whichever games you select is just gonna be a tiebreaker if we need it. Okay.
So Rangers what?
Rangers versus Ducks. What do you 4-3, 4-1?
Would they get them in?
Yeah, the games. Sorry, I was all excited.
I think Rangers Ducks would go game 6.
So you're gonna go for?
Yeah, I think the home ice, that kind of shit.
Okay.
That would. Yeah, I'm saying 6 games, 4-2.
Okay, so we'll do that, and then. So let's go through lightning round. What's your heart? Lightning round. We're gonna go Habs, Ottawa again.
On that one, I would go Habs again.
So you want the same to be okay, and then your heart with the.
I'd go Detroit again. Next one, I'd go Penguins.
Penguins.
Fucking right.
All right, and then Caps, Islanders, heart.
I'd think I want Islanders to go in. I really do.
So yeah, absolutely. And then how about out in the West, heart? Jets, Ducks.
I would rather see Jets come in because I'd love to see them in the Wild in the final round.
That'd be nice. That would be awesome. Then how
that'd be grizzled to be able to go up there and fucking watch a game, buy a scalp.
You know what sucks is the Wild. I saw the schedule, and if they go into like Game 6, they play on the 29th.
Yeah.
If they were going to play on the 28th, I was going to be like, fuck it.
That'd be awesome.
I'm going to that as
That'd
opposed
be
to
awesome.
the Twins game. Fuck the Twins. And then we got your heart, not even a question, with the Wild Blues.
I'd say my heart would be the Flames beating the Canucks, though.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Because I hate the Canucks.
All right. And then, so Wild, of course, and then Preds, Hawks. I'm assuming you're going to go Preds.
I'd actually like to see the Hawks.
So
I'd like to see the Hawks the second round. I'd like to see that just so we can carry the momentum. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I'm going to have to go out on a fucking limb and say this. If we meet up against them this year, I think we can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not even worried.
But it's one of those things. I think if we could get rid of the Blues, we could go against the Hawks.
We could beat everybody.
I mean, it would be that momentum thing that you would just go, we're fucking killing everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, our big enemies.
The only thing is if we dispatch of them in 6 or under.
Yes, we
can't
can't take it to
7.
7 every single game.
Because you're gonna get fucking.
We've already done that before. It doesn't work.
Yeah, when we grizzled it all the way to the finals and we got swept. So let's go now back out to the East with your heart favorites, Detroit and not Ottawa, but Montreal.
The DET.
So you'd go with Detroit,
Fucking
is what
right.
you prefer, and then let's go Pens and Isles.
I'd say Pens. I'd like to see Penguins and Detroit match up on it. That would be a good fucking. That would be another one of those hard, just fists going to fist.
Is that's before realignment, Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
For what, 2 years in a row, and what seemed like 3 out of 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Where Marion Host just kept switching sides, hoping to win a fucking.
See, in that lineup though, or in that matchup, I would love to see it just for the simple fact that I believe that those guys, to use the military term, both those teams are hammers just looking for a nail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be fun to watch just because they would beat the piss out of each other.
That is true. And then, so let's go out to the West. We got Jets versus Flames.
I want the Jets.
And then Wild versus Hawks.
Yep.
And then we go back out to the East. Detroit versus Penguins.
Oh, this is where it comes down to it, because I like both the teams.
I don't like Sidney Crosby, personally. I think he's kind of a cunt.
See, I see where you get that because he is cocky, but then again, he backs it up. Like we hate the cockiness because we had the cockiness in Marion Gaborik, and Marion Gaborik never backed it up when he was with Minnesota.
He hoisted a cup.
Fuck yes, a cup. But what I'm saying is, with Minnesota, he never backed up his bullshit. And then the way he left Minnesota, where he elected to have a surgery that was going to take him out the last of the year where we could have made the playoffs and had a run at it.
Yeah.
But he was just like, oh, guys, I'm a free agent at the end of this year, so I'm going to elect this surgery because my doctor says it is, and the Players Association Union says if it's requested by a doctor that I need to have it. So you can't fire me or, breach contract or any of that shit.
Yeah.
So I still get paid for this shit, even though it's an elective surgery, and everybody knows all you got to do is pay a doctor enough, and you can find a doctor to fucking say, yeah, this is a needed surgery.
But to be a devil's advocate, isn't that what you're supposed to do as an individual, is look out for number one?
But this is also supposed to be a sport that you loved so much that you devoted your life for, that you play the sport, not the money.
But I want to keep playing. I don't want my career to be over after 3 seasons.
There was no significant change to anything.
But
he was even told that by multiple doctors that this was not a serious injury, that this was something that he could actually get over himself. And he was like, yes, but if I have surgery on it now, I'll be ready 100%
by the time
I'm a free agent.
Exactly. And so you got to think of the long term, baby.
Yeah.
It's all, if it don't make dollars,
that just tells me right there that he's not a hockey player, he's an accountant.
I agree. I'm just trying to be.
He's an accountant that happens to be talented at hockey.
All right.
And I just look at it like that, and the reason that a guy like Marion Gaborik will never be a Sidney Crosby or an Alex Ovechkin or a Wayne Gretzky, and that pisses me off, because how many times did you hear that, the new Wayne Gretzky, Marion Gaborik,
Fuck that, it was more Sidney Crosby was going to be
They
the next
said
Gretzky.
that all the time when he was first came into the league, because
I spit at that.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
Even with Sidney Crosby.
It puts everybody else like that to shame, because Sidney Crosby might be a cocky son of a bitch, but he backs that shit up. Not only that, but he's not a little fucking pussy.
Well, he's kind of a cheap little cunt.
I'm going to say it. He is cheap, but he is a smaller guy as well. So you have to throw a little cheap shot on the dudes beating the shit out of you.
I should like him since he went to high school in Minnesota, but I just, meh. So what's your answer? Detroit versus Gwinnies?
I don't know. We got on this whole tantrum, and now I'm looking at it going, I'm still no better off than I was.
Yeah, I know. You're trying to buy time or what?
I know. I'm going to actually have to say Detroit.
What? That is insane. All right, so we're going Jets Wild. With your heart, there's no question.
I was gonna say, are you even asking
and
that?
then I'm going. What are you gonna? So your heart, I'm assuming a straight sweep.
I would say my heart. We're gonna give them one.
What?
Yeah.
You're gonna go?
Well, just so they make.
Okay,
you gotta make them feel good.
You gotta put butts in seats.
Kemper's got to play in a cup game.
Well, so then, yeah, would we win it on home ice if it went 5? Yeah, no, it'd be in Detroit.
No, that would be.
It'd be in Detroit because I doubt we'd be getting because Detroit's their 3rd seed. Never mind. So, all right, now let's.
It'd be deet, min,
Yeah.
deet.
That is true. All right, so this is my heart bracket. Montreal, Tampa Bay, winning. New York Rangers beating the Gwinnies. Islanders beating the Caps.
Oh, you want New York, huh?
Yep, and then I went Islanders beating the Rangers.
You silly son of a bitch.
I went Montreal beating Tampa Bay. And then I had the Islanders beating Montreal. So the Islanders make the finals.
Wow.
I got the Ducks beating the Jets. I got the Flames just because I wanted to see the Flames beat the Ducks.
Just because I wanted to.
Yep. And then
I just love how you're saying this. Just because I wanted to see, like you've already run all the games in your head. Like, dude, that was the best. After about 5 minutes into the 3rd.
Well, the thing is, Johnny Hockey comes out there. He makes a fucking name for himself this playoffs when he just trounces the Ducks single-handedly.
Yep, exactly.
Just Johnny Hockey.
Eat a Snickers.
Yep. So we got the Flames over the Ducks. Wild. Then I got the Predators, and then the Wild beating St. Louis, of course. Predators over the Hawks because I fucking hate the Hawks, and of course the Wild over the Preds. Flames versus Wild because I think old school division.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be pretty good.
And then of course the Wild win. So Wild Islanders.
So you're just trying to make like best case scenario for the Wild on this? Or?
No, this is what I want to see because you got Clutterbuck on the Islanders, you got Okposo, Tavares. I like the Islanders. They're like my second favorite team this season.
I'm going to say it right now. Though,
I
do have to say this. I'm going to say it right now that if we do end up playing the Islanders like that, Clutterbuck's going to get his ass kicked by Nino Niederreiter. He is a bigger gat. He really is. Nino, especially this year, has started to throw his shit.
Hey, but it's still going to be that would be my dream finals. And of course I pick Wild and fucking straight sweep.
Straight?
With my heart. Even though I love the Islanders, you think a motherfucker would go game 7s so you'd see it, so you'd have fun, get to see both. No. My heart says Wild, just win it. And it's like blowout sweep. Like Kemper, 4 shutout. He has 2 assists and a goal in the series. I'm talking like straight ass whooping time. Not Kemper, fucking Dubnik. I'm an idiot.
I was going to say, they're like, yeah, you guys are playing so shitty, we're even going to put our backup in.
Exactly. No, I meant Doobie.
Well, no, that's been established.
And that's the playoff news.
I'm really sure that all of our listener wanted to hear that.
All of our listener. Hey, this is important business.
It is.
We got to get this on record because when my bracket turns out to be flawless, I'm going to be able to prove it.
Yeah.
With this time capsule.
I'm going to be able to prove it with an hour of shit beforehand. And I'm going to tell everybody, no, you got to listen to the whole thing.
It's buried. There's nuggets within it.
You can't skip a crap. No, I made it so you can't skip it. You want to hear my predictions, which were 100% accurate.
Yep. You got to listen to the podcast. Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair, brought to you by Jacob's Hap. Live.
Come the revolution! I got you, bitch.